out of our solution. So hopefully everybody's seeing my screen. This is a slide presentation, and you will be able to get access to these slides post the conference, so no need to ask me that. But do feel free to ask questions if you have them up in using the chat box and the question box on the top of your screen. So, you know, what first and foremost we want you to know is that you're not alone out there. SuccessFactors is trying every day to do more and more to help support their customers, and have come a long way over the last probably 7 years since they've been bought by SAP to improve what we're doing from a support perspective. But sometimes just general support is not enough for organizations, and deeper level of support is needed. And typically what we're finding is most SuccessFactors clients are feeling these ways, you know, undersupported. They feel that they need somebody dedicated that knows both them and their system to call and connect with. They feel that they just don't have the time and the cycles and need somebody to help them understand what's new in the product and when, if ever, they should be turning on those types of features and functionality inside the solution. We know that they're not also utilizing everything that they can inside the system to be able to make that happen. So hang on, one of the people were kind enough to let me know we weren't sharing my screen. Let's make sure that I'm doing that here. Perfect. Here we go. That might make it easier for everybody. So as I was talking about, you know, you're not feeling alone, is the fact that if you're not able to keep up to date with what's happening in the system, you're not maximizing the investment on the solution. You know, when you buy SuccessFactors, it's not a you implement and then never have to do anything type of scenario. It's a, hey, I've invested in the leading HR product out on the marketplace. They're going to be pushing to me innovation now biannually, and that I should be keeping up to date on what's new inside the product. Otherwise, eventually the system gets tired, doesn't have the latest features and functionality that are leading the marketplace, and you start to look to invest in another solution. Also, with a lot of organizations, because turnover in HR can be as high as 30% annually, are just in a position where the people that were responsible for SuccessFactors are no longer available to help them. And they have the system, they just don't know what to do with it and how to make any changes and tweaks. You know, recruiters may be recruiting effectively, but if we have to launch a new performance review or new form, we don't know how to do that inside the system. So again, these are all the most common reasons why organizations are looking for a better level of support than they get with SAP with your 24/7 you know, ticketing and support capabilities that you have through SuccessFactors. Make sure as we move on to the next page here inside the system, and talk about more about why you're feeling this way and what's happening for you on the marketplace. Sorry, I think when I kicked off my slideshow is not working effectively for me. I'm just going to try and reboot it. Not a very successful start to today's session. Sorry. Okay. So here we go. So we're talking about, you guys said it was the leading HR software out on the marketplace. And because SaaS software is what we call, a lifetime software where you get regular updates and innovation spent into the system. In fact, SAP spends $3.4 billion a year on innovation inside their solution. When you made the decision to go to SuccessFactors, you really should never have to swap out or change your HR software at all in the future. In the past, it used to be every 7 to 10 years, people would rip out and replace their HR systems. Now, if you choose wisely, and I still do believe strongly that you chose appropriately with SAP SuccessFactors, you should not have to look to replace SuccessFactors if you make the investment in it to keep it current inside the solution. It's often when here at HR Strategies, when we have customers that we're implementing and we're selling them support packages with regular cadence calls and update reviews, they're like, well, why do I want to pay for these? And it's almost as if you don't have skin in the game, some money on the table associated with them. We just don't keep current and don't make the investment we need to make inside of these solutions to get the most out of them. Constantly there's innovations on the marketplace, and if you've ever followed some of the leading authorities out there like Josh Bersin or Jason Averbook and the likes, they'll be telling you consistently that you need to buy an integrated talent management solution, and that you shouldn't go off and buy best of breed one-off solutions that might have a shiny new feature associated with them, because if that feature is critical to the organization and the future of HR, companies like SAP SuccessFactors will build them into their roadmap and make them available to you. And if you're turning those features and functionalities on in a regular basis, depending on whether you need change management or don't need change management, your system will stay current, and it will make sure that you have the functions that you need to map to whatever the latest trend is. So whether that's like our continuous performance management or the use of AI out there inside the suite, when your organization is ready, you can turn those features and functionalities on inside the system. So as I said, it's really a lifetime investment that you're making into this solution. And it can't be just your initial purchase for the licenses and your annual license fees that you look at that being the investment. It's time on your side to decide what features you need to turn on and configure. Maybe there are even features that existed from day one, but you weren't ready for them yet inside the solution. And keep a pulse on what's coming down and what's new and the impact it can have on your organization, as many of the features are going to give you what we call year-over-year return on investment. We want to make sure we're mapping what our business goals and our HR goals are with how we're using the SuccessFactors solution. We need to be able to make changes inside the system to help our HR department and our overall company reach those objectives. And, another way that and turn to on the marketplace to help them understand what other people are doing and maybe some of the benefits they're getting out of the system besides SuccessFactors is, really getting involved in the SuccessFactors community. There's a number of local events that happen around SuccessFactors. They're called user groups that are occurring, usually on a quarterly basis. They all can be found in your Success portal or through Launchpad. But also you can Google ASOG events, that's the SAP user group events, and you'll notice that there's always content in all of those user groups around the SuccessFactors space as well. If you haven't been to our annual users conference, it's held every year, usually August to September. I highly encourage you to attend this event. It's a great way, again, to attend educational seminars and places to go to learn about road product enhancements and things that are coming down, as well as, of course, just to build out your peer network so that you have people that you can call and say, hey, I'm thinking of doing this. What are you doing this way? Or I'm trying to, improve and make a more agile workforce. What are you doing with SuccessFactors around that arena? So these peers that you will have that are users of the system, you can rely on them to share data points, information, and best practices amongst each of you. Also, if you're not launching into the support portal often, again, it's something that you should be leveraging right from day one. So if any of you have just recently implemented SuccessFactors, there's just a wealth of information there and training, both live and archived, and knowledge bases. It really helps you understand what you can do, how to do it inside the system, and what results are occurring for you inside of those organizations. So in order to get access to Launchpad, you need to get an SID number. If you don't have an SID number, then you should be calling the customer support line and putting a ticket in and getting a specific, they'll give you access to the ticketing system and give you that SID that you need to access that type of data and information. Next, I wanted to share with you, so some of you that may be in that pain point arena about what is new and haven't done anything. I know when I went to a East Coast users group of SuccessFactors, it was hosted by a company who had implemented SuccessFactors over 7 years ago and had not changed one thing inside of their system in that entire 7 years. So obviously not best practices, not something that we would recommend, but we get it, it happens. You know, you turn the system on, it meets your immediate needs, and you get so busy with the day-to-day running of your business, you don't think about what else you could do or how else you could change it. In other words, if it isn't broken, don't fix it, and you just keep using the solution. It's not until somebody comes into your organization and says, you know, why aren't you doing, for instance, continuous performance management? Why are we still just doing a semi-annual or annual review? Why aren't we creating these pulse meetings and check-ins between our managers and employees? These are the things that are going to drive a better culture inside of our organization. It's really going to play to where we're seeing the big move out in the marketplace from HCM to HXM. So it's about experience management. So we want to have a 100% positive perspective and touch point with our employees right from the recruiting process to every single day that they're an employee. So this is what we call human experience management. So in order to have a great experience as an employee, we need to change the way we utilize SuccessFactors to drive that type of outcome. We want to change how frequently we're communicating with our employees, how frequently we're enabling them to develop themselves, to speak to their managers, to get feedback inside the system. And those are all types of functionality that have been populated into SuccessFactors over the last few years and are continuing to be added to really encourage a much more experience management perspective in the use of the HR software that SuccessFactors provides. There's also another big coming change happening in SuccessFactors for those of you that have onboarding or may be considering onboarding, is they've just recently launched Onboarding 2.0. It's a much nicer user interface, and it brings a lot of the data and information more seamlessly back into your employee profile. So as an organization, you need to start to be thinking about, when do I move from onboarding 1.0 to onboarding 2.0? Or if I haven't implemented onboarding now, or you're thinking about implementing onboarding now, you need to make a concerted decision on whether you're best to go forward with onboarding 1.0 or using onboarding 2.0. These are examples of reasons why, again, we need to know what's happening with the system so we don't implement outdated solutions, or we don't implement a solution that's partly built but not ready to meet all the needs we need from an onboarding perspective. There's been a real surge in the use of artificial intelligence, and coming up more so inside of the SuccessFactors product suite. Any of you that were able to attend Success Connect would have seen some great videos and beta examples of how we're going to be using artificial intelligence more and more throughout the system. but there are components of it already built into the system, and I've listed just a few here. For instance, we have the ability to use artificial intelligence for recommending courses for learning. So if they've taken similar courses, it can automatically let them know, you've taken this course, you may be interested in this and this course. It's similar to when we're shopping online, where they will say other people also reviewed this item, or hey, you bought the red purse, so maybe you want the red shoes that goes with it. And that type of artificial intelligence exists in learning. Another one that I love that we use a lot is what we call Job Analyzer. So it's the capability for us to use data and information that's been pulled together and amalgamated through AI on the web. So it helps us know whether a job description is too masculine or too feminine, whether all the proper keywords are being used inside of it to attract the right candidates. It lets you know what other positions that have been posted for similar roles are using for those skills and competencies inside the solution. And for those of you using our recruitment marketing solution, and some of you, if you haven't updated in 7 years, may not be using that, and it's a must-have. It's really a patented solution that's game-changing for recruiting. It also tells you where you've posted the job in the past and where you've had your most success. So again, saving you money and time inside that solution of AI to help you understand, where you might want to be posting that job in the future. There's also been a number of new mini modules inside of SuccessFactors that have been launched. So for instance, there's a complete way of tracking and doing work orders inside the solution for any of you that use consultants or contingent workers. There's also a module now for visa and permit management for those of you that are doing a lot of foreign recruiting inside and want to be able to better track that and utilize that inside the system. I talked briefly already about the move to HXM versus HCM. And again, this is spearing a lot of change, not only in how we're going to continue to innovate inside of SuccessFactors, but also as a result, other products and services that SAP is invested in. And one of the biggest examples, in many ways, the largest example, is SAP's purchase of Qualtrics for both employee and customer surveys. They spent in December $8.4 billion to buy a very small but successful product out on the marketplace that was really revolutionizing how we track and know how people are engaged both inside of our organization as well as our customers. So as we move to experience management, we can use this tool to do surveys and capture, data and information and start to do predictions on how well engaged our own employees are, and we can see the direct impact of that on our customers. It's obviously shouldn't be too much of a shock for you all to know that the happier your employees are, the happier your customers are. So putting them both on the same level of focus from an experience perspective can drive double the benefits. So if we're just as worried about how happy our internal employees are, as well as how our customers are, the two will play off each other to a perspective. I think the numbers range from anywhere from 22 to 114% increase in the sales capabilities of your organization based on utilizing this type of experience management data and information. The other thing that's available that you may or may not know about is the 245 apps in our App Store that are specific for SuccessFactors. So SuccessFactors has been built to be what we call extendable. Extendable means that we can take any paper process that we have inside of our system and outside of our system that we're doing manually from paper and recreate that inside of SuccessFactors with appropriate workflows. So for instance, we have a customer that wanted to track and order t-shirts for all of their employees because they want them to wear these t-shirts to work every day. So we can create a t-shirt order form that happens with onboarding so they can tell us the size and the color preferences they have for t-shirts so that they can get those the first day that they arrive there inside of the office. Onboarding is probably one of the places that these forms are most popularly used, but with Employee Central, we've also done things like capture immunization requirements for healthcare. We've done light health and safety, labor relation capabilities inside the solution. But if you need anything more in depth, companies like, for instance, if I look here, Sedalis, who's a partner of ours, they built a complete labor relations software as well as a health and safety software product that you can layer on top and is integrated with SuccessFactors to be able to communicate employee data, roles and permissions, and to make it seamlessly from going from SuccessFactors to their modules to extend the use of SuccessFactors to have a very robust labor relations and health and safety product extended to it. Now you're seeing here specific to SuccessFactors, there's over 245 apps in the App Store. Here at HR Strategies, we hope to be launching in the near future a grievances, not a grievances app. We hope to be launching a pay equity app specific for our customers and to share with anybody from a SuccessFactors perspective as well. Because again, we need to make sure that we're paying people effectively, as there's been a lot of fines handed out throughout North America around improper pay equity practices. So again, these are places that we can look to see how we can turn things on, just like you do on your iPhone. So apps are available. They can be free, like the SurveyMonkey app is here, or they can be a paid solution like the Sedalis product and services to get the full robustness of an application inside of the system. So you're seeing that a lot has changed throughout SuccessFactors, and that if you vest back into your product and solution, you're going to get a lot more out of that. We're certainly here at HR Strategies to be able to help you do that. Some of the reasons why we're the #1 choice for organizations to come to from a support are here. We were actually an HR consulting firm for 20 years prior to getting into the SuccessFactors space. So we understand deeply both HR best practices and technology. So we can tell you both what is best practices in HR as well as how is that accomplished inside of SuccessFactors. And we bring change management and that implementation experience of SuccessFactors to the table. We are the most recent recipient of the SAP Cloud Partner of Choice Award. So that was a kudos to us for being able to have the most new business last year in the cloud, as well as happy customers in the cloud. We're also a gold partner with SAP SuccessFactors. With our 20 plus years of HR consulting, we've been delivering large scale and complex HR transformation projects. We have a very experienced team, able to work both remote and on-site. We've developed some proprietary tools to enable our customers to achieve better results quicker and more effectively. We built a best practice deployment of SuccessFactors to get modules up and running quicker and more cost-effective. We've created some reporting tools and have amassed some data and information that help us benchmark for our customers on how they're doing. We do have a bench of approximately 40 SuccessFactors consultants available. Many of those do have HR backgrounds, so they're able to, again, both guide you in best practices in HR as well as best practices in utilizing SuccessFactors. And together, we've combined to help over 150 customers get more out of SuccessFactors by utilizing both our consultants and our knowledge specifically in HR. So would welcome the opportunity to work with you and your organizations to be able to put together a support package or sell you buckets of hours if you just need consulting help to change things that you don't need to change. We're also a business process outsourcing partner, so we can also pick up and maintain and support your product, either long-term or short-term, if you've had a changeover of resources and you're just not capable of having the bandwidth to do that internally. inside the system. Happy to walk you through, again, any of the updates, do health checks for you around your system, let you know what's happened since you implemented, where we can make changes, either small or larger, to impact HR business results. So lots of opportunities for us to potentially engage with you and help you out in that particular arena. I do have a full presentation that follows this around the depth and breadth of that. I think with it being close to the new year and the smaller number of people that have signed up for today's webinar, I would really love to extend to you the opportunity to run through our packages one-on-one with you, and to be able to talk to you about your unique opportunities or challenges in your organization, and the ways that both SAP and or HR strategies might be able to help you align what you're trying to accomplish in HR and in your business, and accomplish that through some changes in success factors. So be rest assured, still feel strongly that you bought the right product. You just may not be getting the most that you possibly can out of it, and we're available to help you change that. I like to say that we're known for putting the HR back into HRIT. This technology shouldn't be viewed as technology. It should be, as we call, a human experience management solution, which is really helping you drive year-over-year return on investment, really engaging and retaining your employees. And if you don't feel you're getting that value, we certainly welcome you to reach out and connect with us to see how we can change that and make you more successful. So without further ado, I'm going to give you the half an hour back in your day today. And as I said, we'll reach out to you individually, see if we can help you in any way or point you in the direction. If you're stumbling some way that we can't, that you need to contact somebody in SAP SuccessFactors, help you to make those connections as well. I will, just before I sign off, go and to the last slide so people have my contact details. Let me just scurry down there to that last slide, push it over here. So if you're anxious to get a hold of me, again, I'm Terry Joosten, Global Vice President, HR Strategies Consulting. Here's my email and my phone number. And we look forward to the possibility of working with you and making you get the most out of SuccessFactors. Thanks and have a great day.